Hello, my name is Sally Gimmon and I'm the owner of the TrustIsYou.com, and I want to teach as many U.S. business people, U.S. 1099 income earners, and also U.S. investors, because so few people have ever learned about the Spendthrift Trust. Do you realize that you could be saving so much in federal taxes? Most people have never heard of the Spendthrift Trust. This is legal, copywritten in the IRS Tax Code. We're going to start with 3 very easy questions. Question number 1. Do you want to leave a legacy for generations to come? Just shake your head yes. Question number 2. Do you want to save federal taxes? Shake your head yes. Question number 3. Do you want to know the secret of the rich? Again, shake your head yes. Now imagine that you're saving four figures, 5 figures, 6 figures in federal taxes every single year. Think of that. You're going to take this money and you're going to pay off your mortgage. You're going to buy a new car. You're going to start a second location. You're going to give to your charities. You're going to help a family member. Imagine not worrying about ever having to be sued again. All these frivolous lawsuits that take up time and money, and you don't have to worry about that. Imagine no one knowing what you own, how much you own, where you own it, or how much you make. All of this is possible with the Spendthrift Trust. Now, again, my name is Sally Gimmon. I am the owner of www.thetrustisyou.com and a podcast, Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. I work on behalf of a law firm that has the copyright on the Benson Financial Trust for the past 73 years. In 73 years, this trust has never, ever been audited. One trust was examined by a senior IRS agent 8 years ago. He did look it over, spent about 4 hours looking at it, and then signed off on it. The law firm inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023, before we were a country. Now, most people have not heard of this, and they don't know much about it. It does come from England, way back when the famous King Henry VIII, who chopped off his wives' heads, started the Church of England so he could divorce his wives. Before that, it was the Roman Catholic Church. You couldn't get a divorce in the Roman Catholic Church. So, murder a few ladies, start a new church. He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went back further into history to the Magna Carta. It is contract law that came from England to the United States while we were still a colony. Now, our current tax code went into effect February of 1913. 110 years ago. Back at that time, very rich families, or the baron families of that time, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, and the Kennedys, put this into the IRS Tax Code 643B. They wanted to continue to save federal taxes and make life good for them. Well, if they can do it, you and I should be able to do this also. Now, with the Spendthrift Trust, it is divided into 2. The first trust, the business trust, is for U.S. business owners and 1099 income earners. I can legally say you're going to save at least 90% on your federal income taxes year after year, generation after generation. And listen up, 43 states in the union also have state income tax or have personal income taxes that you can also save. So I'm going to just give you a few of my clients that are saving so much money. My one client I love to talk about, my favorite pizzeria here in the Charlotte area. They make the best white pizza ever, New York style pizza. They start their trust back in February of 2023. What they're going to do, they're going to be saving $27,193 with 2 locations. With this savings in 2024, they're going to open a 3rd location. And in 2025, they're going to open a 4th location. So they're going to be even making more money and saving even more money. Good for them. When they plan to retire in 30-35 and leave 2 locations to one child and 2 locations to another child, the children will inherit those locations with no inheritance tax, and they won't have to, though too, will save 1099 income. Another client of mine, he's a mechanic. He and his wife have a mechanic shop in New Jersey. They save both federal income taxes and New Jersey state income taxes. For a full year, they started in 2023, so a full year, they will save at least $36,469. This is their money. What can they do with this money? They can open up another shop if they want to. They can pay off their mortgage. They can buy a new car. They can go on a family vacation. They can put it into savings. They can start investing with it. They can start their own charity or give it to the charity of their choice. This is their money to do with what they want. Another person I have, a Shopify owner. I don't have any earrings in right now. I went diving and my ears are messed up, so I'm cleaning my ears today. TMI. Yeah, you don't want to know about that. But she's going to be saving over $17,335 every single year. She is 23 years old. What if she continues her Etsy store and it doesn't grow at all? It doesn't get bigger and bigger. It just stays the same. In the next 10 years, she would save $173,000. That's her money. Think of the house she could buy. Think of the cars she could be driving. This is her money. Well, a business coach who does both group coaching and individual coaching. He's going to save over $58,726 with the business trust. Again, the business trust is for all U.S. business owners, 1099 income earners, and you're going to save federal taxes and state income taxes if you get everything into it. In 2022, I saved 92% on my 3 online businesses. I was happy to pay only 8% federal taxes. I can do this, and you can do this. I'm inviting you to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me, www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. Set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me to find out more about the trust and find out your situation. When you come for an appointment, the 30 minutes, I take you out to a free website, NerdWallet. I show you the formula. How much you would be paying in taxes. It's at 90%. You might be, most of my clients are saving between 90 to 95%. Personally, I save 92%, so that's a minimum. Then I will share with you 3 articles from Forbes magazine. I will share with you case law. I will give you a PDF copy of the book that I read. It's now called What Billionaires Do, and answer all your questions. That's the business trust. The beneficial trust. This is for all U.S. investors. I don't care what kind of investor you are. You're a crypto investor. You're a passive investor. You're a real estate investor. You're doing stock market investing. You're a day trader. You're doing commodities. You're doing futures trading. You're doing subject to. You're doing tax lien investing. You're doing creative financing or seller financing. You're a forex investor. Oh, forex investors, you get taxed twice. Or you're an options trader. You have rental income. You have royalties. You have mineral rights. You're in the NFT world. With the beneficial trust, you will stop paying the following taxes year after year, generation after generation. No longer pay short-term or long-term capital gains. You will no longer pay passive income. You will no longer pay dividend income. You will no longer pay rental income, and you will no longer pay royalty income. The beneficial Spendthrift Trust will save you thousands and thousands of dollars. My personal story, so you know why I do this. Back in October 2018, my oldest nephew got married in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was living in Phoenix. My mom and dad were living in Goodyear, Arizona, 20 miles west of Phoenix. My parents left Goodyear a week before the wedding and drove cross country because they were taking a lot of things to the wedding. My mom got sick. She got septic to the blood. It got into her system and got into her pacemaker. I knew she was sick. I was working as a Medicare broker. If you know anything about being Medicare brokers, October 5th through December 7th, our busiest time of the year. I worked until 8 o'clock Friday night, drove myself to Sky Harbor Airport, parked my car at the parking spot. Yay, parking spot. Got on a red eye, flew to Charlotte. My nephew picked me up. Family tradition, you go to IHOP when you come in on a red eye. And then we went to the hospital to see my mom. The priest was in my mom's room giving her last rites. Yikes. Turn around and I go to a wedding at 3 o'clock that afternoon with friends and family from all over the world and had a great time. On Sunday, we had a big lunch. I went back to see my mom in the hospital and I was driven to the airport because I had to be back in Phoenix on Sunday afternoon because I had to be at work 6 a.m. Phoenix time because I was working Michigan hours. Yikes. So, I'm living in Phoenix. My mom is in the hospital for my mom's on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. My mom and dad stayed in the Charlotte area for 9 months. My dad had planned to be gone for only 2 weeks. He didn't even have enough clothes. I was going out to their house once a week to do the mail because he hadn't been planning to be gone that long. In December of 2018, a letter that was 27 pages thick came from Medicare Services. It was my mom's Medicare statement for the first month in the hospital. In big, bold, black letters, it said for her to be in the hospital, it was $72,000. Yikes. My dad was a retired military officer. They had TRICARE for life. She was getting the best care possible. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen going, I need to change my life. At that point, I had a mortgage. I had 2 car payments. Beginning of October, I bought a brand new car, 2015 Hyundai 360ZX. Love that car. Going to work 7:30 in the morning. I was the second car through in a green light. Some idiot who was high, drunk, and had no insurance ran the red light, T-boned me on my passenger side, bent the frame. Had no gap insurance, and I had to get a second car. I had student loans, and I had credit card debt. I was over $184,000 in debt. Right there in my mom and dad's kitchen, I called my friend Glenn, who had invited me to a real estate meeting back in August, and I said, Glenn, I need to change my life today. He's like, Sally, next Saturday, we're having a Christmas potluck. Bring something to eat and a $5 gift. I'm like, great, I'll meet you and Rhonda at the party. He's like, oh, we've got a Christmas pageant to go to. Just show up, people will be nice to you. Kind of scary, but I did it. Best decision of my life. I went to a party where I knew nobody. I became a real estate investor, and in 2019, working full-time as a Medicare broker, I wholesaled 7 properties nationwide. Woohoo! Sally was doing great. I paid off all my debt. I was a rock star in my real estate group, and when my CPA called me and said, we need to have a conversation, can you come into my office? I set up a meeting with him at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Scottsdale, which is east of Phoenix. Go over to talk to him, and he says, Sally, I got some bad news for you. You owe $79,000 to the federal government for short-term capital gains. My stomach dropped to my feet. And by the way, I have big feet, so yes. I kept it together. He set me up on a payment plan, shook his hand, walked out, got my parking validated, went down to the parking garage, and sat in my car and cried for 20 minutes. $79,000. So I have to drive through rush hour traffic, going back to Phoenix into the sunset. Get back to Phoenix. My boyfriend knew I was going to go see my CPA. He made dinner. We sit down. I tell him the bad news, and he and I just sat there and stared at each other going, $79,000. I was on a payment plan to pay over $13,000 per month with the IRS. I don't know if y'all know about wholesaling. You feast or famine. I'm like, I've got to do something. So, go to sleep. My great Aunt Kitty from Ireland, my mom's from Ireland, my great Aunt Kitty in Ireland always made a comment, whenever you have a problem, sleep on it. Put it in your mind and sleep on it. One of my most favorite books out there by Dr. Joseph Murphy is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. If you get a chance, read it. It's a little bit old, but it's really true. Next day, I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning going, where's that book? In my national real estate group, a gentleman named Garrett Gunderson wrote a book called What the Rockefellers Do. I had a paperback copy of that book. I had read it before, but I sat down and started taking notes on every name that was mentioned in the book. I started Googling them. I started calling them everybody else. So this was probably April 2020 that I found out I owed $79,000 to the federal government. September of 2020, I started both my business trust and my beneficial trust with the law firm. I have both the Benson Financial Trusts. I started both of them at the same time, and I started saving money. The first property I put into the trust, it was a $20,000 bank-owned reverse mortgage I had bought in July of 2020 in my LLC. I Googled how to do a bill of sale. I didn't even know how to do a bill of sale. I Googled that. I printed 2 up. The first bill of sale was from my LLC to me. The second bill of sale was from me to the trust. I drove to the bank. My banker, Jose, he was going to notarize it. When he took the first bill of sale, I handed him $10. I had $10 in my pocketbook. That's why I handed him. He put a note that the money was contended, or there was money offered. Then he did the second bill of sale. He notarized both of them. Drive back to my home. I scanned them into the computer and sent them to the attorney in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Phoenix, sent it to the attorney in Raleigh. Next day, I get an email from the attorney going, I need the first page of your trust. Scanned that, sent it to him. This is the middle of COVID, so it's not going to go to auction until COVID restrictions are lifted. I knew that I bought the contract for $20,000. it was going to go to auction for $50,000. Yay, Sally, I'm making $30,000 without lifting a hammer. My kind of real estate. Well, it didn't go to auction until August 28th of 2021. Instead of going for $50,000, it went up to over $64,000. Yay, Sally, I made $44,000. Didn't lift a hammer. Better yet, I got to save $10,355 in short-term capital gains. With that money, I reinvested it into other properties. I haven't looked back since. Again, I'm inviting all U.S. business owners, U.S. 1099 income earners, and U.S. investors to a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me at www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. Every video I put out there, I always have the link to how to get onto a meeting with me. This is legal. It's copyrighted. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. One question I get asked all the time, what if Congress changes the tax rules? Good question. I'm not making fun of that question. If you start a trust, it is a contract. If they change the IRS Tax Code 643B, if they change that, I won't be able to sell any more trusts. But I will still save all my taxes that I have with the business trust and the beneficial trust. So please, reach out to me. My goal is to help as many people as possible. This is not taught in college. This is not taught in high school. True story. There are over 1 million attorneys in the United States. Only 4% of them are trust attorneys. A book trust attorneys study in law school is called Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. All the other attorneys and financial advisors talk about the family trust. My mom and dad had a family trust. Susie Orman talks about that on PBS television. There's nothing wrong with that trust, but the only thing the family trust does is avoid going through probate. Then it dissolves. This is not your mom and dad's trust. This is what U.S. presidents have, U.S. athletes have, gurus have, rich families have. Please make an appointment with me at www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. I also go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. East Coast time. If you go www.thetrustisyou.com/Q&A, question and answer, I go live and so I can talk to people there. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Take care. I can talk to people there. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a beautiful weekend. Take care.